The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. You know, I wasn't the smartest guy in the room, not by a long shot. I didn't code like Woz. I didn't have degrees like the board members. But I had something else. I saw the world not for what it was, but for what it could be. That's where it all begins. When I was a kid, I used to take apart electronics in my parents' garage. Radios, TVs, speakers. If it had wires, I wanted to know how it worked. Not because I wanted to fix things, but because I believed everything around me was made by people no smarter than I was. And if they could build it, maybe I could too. That belief, that reality is not fixed, was the most powerful idea I ever carried. You don't need to be a genius to innovate. You just need imagination and courage. You have to dare to think differently, not just for the sake of being different, but because the world needs your version of better. You see, the future doesn't arrive on its own. It's built. Apple started in a garage. No fancy lab, no funding, just vision, obsession, and a ridiculous belief that we could put a computer in everyone's home. Most people said, "Why would the average person need a computer?" We said, "Why wouldn't they?" That's the thing. Innovation always sounds stupid, until it works. We didn't wait for permission. We didn't follow the rules, because the rules were written by people who gave up too early. We broke things. We argued. We pushed boundaries. We risked everything. Because in our hearts, we knew we were building more than machines. We were building tools for the mind, bicycles for the brain. And if you're not willing to look foolish in the beginning, you'll never look like a genius in the end. But here's the truth. Most won't tell you. I got fired from Apple. Yes, the company I started. I was kicked out of the very thing I built with my blood, sweat, and soul. I was 30, on the cover of magazines. Then suddenly, out, replaced, forgotten. It was the most painful moment of my life. But it was also the most freeing, because I realized something powerful. You are not your title. You are not your company. You are not your image. You are your passion, your drive, your vision. Getting fired from Apple didn't destroy me. It reinvented me. I went on to start Next. I helped build Pixar. And eventually, I came back to Apple, stronger. Sometimes, life will hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. When I was 17, I read a quote. If you live each day as if it were your last, someday you'll most certainly be right. That line stuck with me. For the past 33 years, I looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do today? And whenever the answer was no, for too many days in a row, I knew I needed to change something. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. Don't waste your life living someone else's dream. Your time is limited. Don't spend it trying to fit in. Be you, fully, boldly, authentically, because death makes everything else secondary. At Apple, we had one obsession: simplicity. Simplicity isn't just about aesthetics. It's about clarity, about eliminating the noise, about cutting through the chaos until what's left is clean, honest, beautiful. Most people think complexity means intelligence, but I'll tell you a secret. Anyone can make something complicated. Only a true master makes it simple. That's what we did with the iPod, the iPhone, the Mac. We didn't just build devices. We created experiences. And the question we always asked was, does this make people's lives better? Because innovation that doesn't serve the soul is just noise. Great design isn't just how it looks. It's how it works, how it makes you feel. That's the difference between a product and a revolution. I wasn't trying to be rich. I wasn't trying to be famous. I was trying to make a dent in the universe. And you know what? You can too. You don't need anyone's permission to start. You don't need all the answers. You just need one thing: the courage to begin. Don't wait for perfect. Don't wait for applause. The world doesn't need more critics. It needs more creators. Build things that matter. Say things that are true. Live a life that's bold. Because when your time comes to leave this earth, and it will, the only thing that matters is the impact you made. Did you inspire others? Did you build something beautiful? Did you love deeply? Did you leave it better than you found it? That's legacy, not in wealth, but in meaning. So here's my message to you. Don't be afraid to dream big, to think differently, to fail, to start over, to build what only you can see. You have a gift, a perspective, a spark no one else has. Use it. The world needs what you carry. Stay hungry, stay foolish, and above all, stay true to yourself. This is Steve, and I'm rooting for you. They called it my exile, the years after I was fired from Apple, but I never saw it that way. I saw it as a reset, a time to rediscover why I started in the first place. Next was born during that time, not just a company, but a philosophy. We were trying to build something that felt inevitable, clean, simple, elegant. The world didn't notice at first. Most people thought I was finished. But here's the thing. You are most dangerous when people stop watching. Because that's when you can build without pressure. You can reinvent. You can breathe. In silence, you grow. And that's where Pixar happened. I invested in a small animation company that no one believed in. Fast forward. Toy Story comes out. The first ever fully computer-generated animated film. It was art, technology, soul, story. And suddenly, I wasn't just the computer guy anymore. I was a storyteller. Those lost years? They weren't lost at all. They were the foundation of everything I'd become. People think creativity is magic, some rare gift from the heavens. It's not. Creativity is just connecting the dots. But to connect the dots, you need to have dots. You need experience, curiosity, range. You have to wander, wonder, collect fragments. When we built the Mac, I remembered walking through a calligraphy class back in college, and suddenly that art formed the basis of fonts on modern computers. You never know what will be useful. That's why you chase what fascinates you. A poet might make a better designer than an engineer. A musician might build the next interface. The intersection of art and technology. That's where magic happens. And guess what? It doesn't require genius. It requires bravery. Because when you create, you open yourself up to criticism. But do it anyway. Because a life without creating is just existing. Fear is the silent killer of dreams. You might think the greatest threat to success is failure. It's not. It's fear of failure. Fear makes you shrink. It makes you build smaller things. Think smaller thoughts. Avoid risk. But nothing great was ever built by people playing it safe. Apple didn't rise because we feared less. We rose because we risked more. We made bold bets, and some flopped. The Newton, the Lisa, the early versions of iTunes. But every time we failed, we got smarter, faster, more refined. You don't avoid failure. You absorb it. You use it. You let it chisel you into something sharper. Fear wants you to freeze. But remember this. Fear is temporary. Regret is forever.
No, you know what separates the good from the great? What you're willing to walk away from. At Apple, we said no more than we said yes. We cut products, we shut down ideas, we simplified everything. Because focus is not about choosing what to do, it's about choosing what not to do. You want to go big, you have to go deep. You want to build a legacy, you have to say no to distractions. The iPhone wasn't built by multitasking, it was built by obsession. So stop trying to do everything, choose a few things that truly matter, and pour your soul into them. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. In the end, all the awards, all the interviews, all the money, it doesn't matter What matters is this: did you live fully? Did you create beauty? Did you love people deeply? When I faced cancer, everything else fell away. The board meetings, the product launches, the shareholder calls, none of it compared to a quiet walk with my wife, a deep conversation with my kids, a sunset. Mortality teaches you what truly matters. Don't wait for a diagnosis to start living like you're alive. You can choose that now. Love deeper, build bolder, speak truth, serve something higher than yourself. Because at the end of this life, no one cares what's in your bank account. They care about how you made them feel. So if you're watching that, let me tell you something personal. You matter, you're here for a reason. You carry something the world needs. Maybe it's a vision, a voice, a way of seeing what others ignore. That's your gift. Protect it, nurture it, share it. Don't let fear mute your soul. The world is full of noise, critics, doubters, cynics, but you can be a builder, a visionary, a rebel. Stay hungry, stay foolish, and never ever stop daring to see the world not as it is, but as it could be. This is Steve, still rooting for you.